Hello everybody, this is Brian with another knife review for you. Today we have the Benchmade Mini Griptilian 555-1 CPM-20CV steel and the gray G-10 handles. The newer upgraded one. This particular one is the Sheepsfoot blade with the Arachnid-esque hole, I think is what we're going to call that for the rest of this video. I've been looking for a mini grip for a long time. This one kind of fell into my lap. Walked into a store that had it for they had a military discount. I'm former military. I could get the discount, and it's got it. I pulled out of the box and looked at it, and it's sorry about my lighting. First production, 208 of 1,000. So grabbed it, and man, am I glad I did. Let's backtrack a bit and talk about the Mini Griptilian. Yeah, I've been looking for one for a while. I had a Mini Barrage, and I didn't like it that much. I thought I wanted an assisted knife when I bought it, and now the more I play with knives and stuff, I'm not a super big fan of the assist. I am in a few rare cases, but mostly I prefer a manual. Didn't know that at the time. I finally sold it, so I started shopping around for one. I didn't highly consider the standard mini grip because the standard mini grip has polymer handles and 154 cm. I'm fine with 154 cm. That didn't bother me much. But the polymer handles was one of the things I didn't like about my Mini Barrage. Just always felt kind of cheap. So the Griptilian series, stalwarts. Even the polymer ones, everything, they've been stalwarts forever. Everyone loves the Griptilian and the Mini Griptilian. The full-size Griptilian is 3.5-inch blade. This is closer to 3. Everybody loves them for very good reason. Axis lock. Everything you love about a Benchmade, and a very ergonomic knife. Great, great, great knives. But they did make a huge upgrade a year ago when they went to this. When they got rid of the polymer handles, well, they didn't get rid of them, they still make it. But when they made a version with gray G10 and this awesome 20CV steel, huge upgrade at a huge price. Standard mini grip, you're looking at like 95 bucks. This retails for like 165, so that's a lot more. That's a big jump. Is it worth it? Well, we'll get to that at the end of the video. Yes, it is. It is worth it. Get this one. Don't get the other one's fine, but get this. I don't know who that guy is. Somebody's interference in my camera or something. I don't know what that was. Aesthetically, I think it's a big jump too. I don't have the base one to compare it to directly, but the gray G10 looks cool. I love the blue standoffs, the little blue details around the G10 inside and stuff. I really like that. On my other business, our website colors are blue and gray, so it matches everything. If that matters, it doesn't, but for me personally, it's cool. I like the looks of the Sheepsfoot blade and the Arachnid-esque hole. I do really like that about it. The only aesthetic flaw it has at all is just that it comes with this black pocket clip and the black screws. I get why the flat black is going to disappear, you know, in your pocket a bit more, and people aren't going to see it as much. But I happen to have a shiny Benchmade deep carry clip, and I put it on there just to see, and it looked really cool. Like I'm tempted to put that back on and get a shiny, you know, stainless screw kit for this, because it looked really, really good. I carry this in the 5th pocket of my jeans, where it fits extremely well, and the pocket clip is completely invisible because I'm always wearing an untucked shirt, so nobody sees it anyway, so it doesn't matter if it's shiny or black or what. But your mileage may vary, depends on where you carry it and stuff. I get why you'd want the black one, so I can't ding it too much for that. I just think the shiny looks cool. There's enough shiny other accents on this knife that I think that matches better. But that's the only aesthetic flaw. Other than that, I think it looks awesome. I really, really do. Let's get into some full-on stats here. We're looking at, again, these are all 1-inch squares. We're looking at about 6 3/4 inches, we're going to call it. Blade length of 2.9 inches. A little less than that for cutting length, but mostly it's all useful surface. Got a good little sharpening choil in there, which is great. We have a thickness of right on about 1/2 inch, which is perfect. That's about what you want, and something that you're going to EDC all the time. No complaints there. And a weight of 2.9 ounces, so very lightweight. It's not crazy lightweight, but it's pretty light. The polymer one with the 154, the standard one, is like 4/10 of an ounce lighter. So it is a bit lighter, but not enough to really matter. You do have right, left hand, always tip up carry. Fine with that. It does have a hollow grind blade, this particular one. Well, so does the other one, I think. But hollow grind blade, pretty good thick tip there, even though it's only a 0.1 inch thick blade. So very thin blade, but pretty good sturdy tip there. Can't complain about that. You have your, as I said, your Arachnid-esque hole. Now let's do some size comparisons. Just for some other stuff, we have your, this is a Spyderco Native 5. I'm also going to compare this to stuff that I also put in that fifth pocket, these kind of smaller 3-inch blade knives. What else we got? Steel wheel cut jack in D2. Mini cut jack, sorry, in D2. And the Kershaw M390. But dividend, but all the dividends are the same size and stuff. This just is a different steel, so that doesn't matter much for size comparison. And the hell, we'll do the Benchmade 940. Another access lock Benchmade. So yeah, it's a pretty small knife. It was actually surprisingly small when I got it out of the box, which I was made me kind of concerned about the ergonomics initially, until I got it in my hand. Yes, it does feel small. Something like the cut jack does feel more substantial in my hand, but this is fine. It's really comfortable. It's just small, kind of like how the Benchmade Osborne is. The handle feels thin, but grips well, and it fits well, and it's never been a problem for me. It's got some good jimping up here. I like that. The pocket clip doesn't bother my hand at all, and ergonomically in the pocket, it is great. It disappears. This is another one of those knives that I know is going to go through the washing machine someday, because I'm going to leave it in that fifth pocket. I'm going to forget about it, and my wife's going to wash my jeans, and it's going to get washed, but I'm sure it will survive. It's Benchmade. If it doesn't, they'll fix it, which is another great thing about Benchmade. Their warranty department is awesome. It is the bomb. I'm too old to say the bomb. I apologize for saying that. But yeah, ergonomically, it's great. The only thing I can say is if you do have, I have large size glove hands, bordering an XL, but that's mostly because of my finger length. My fingers are skinny. If you have big beefy mitts, yeah, it might be a bit small for you. You might want to look at something else. But unless you have big, giant man hands, this is going to fit you just fine. Don't sweat that at all. Deployment, this is my favorite thing about this knife, because you guys have watched this channel, I hope. And if you haven't before, welcome aboard. But those of you guys who have watched it, I own a lot of Spydercos. I love the Spidey hole. And this has an Arachnid-esque hole in it. I can Spidey flip it. Or it's also got, when I want to close it or open it, it's got an access lock, which I also love. I love that about my 940. So it's like two of my favorite things got together and had a beautiful little baby. A tiny little beautiful baby. And I love that. This is, deployment wise, 5 stars. I mean, it's fun to play with. It's useful. The lockup is great on it. You can't complain about anything there. Lockups are great. Yeah, and it's smooth as butter. Smooth as a baby's bottom. Who came up with that phrase? That's a weird phrase. I don't know who came up with that. I don't want to meet that guy, that's for sure. Cutting wise, it's pretty good. It's got a thin blade, but it is a hollow grind, so it's not an awesome like mega cardboard slicer or anything like that. but it's pretty good. And one thing, I've never had a knife like with a sheep's blade like this, or sheep's foot blade like this before. I do like the rocking on it when you're doing really fine stuff. I do really like that a lot. I like the blade shape on it, I really do. And as I said, if you want to go with the more conventional thumb studs and the more conventional, you know, I think drop point Benchmade blade, they have that too. So choose your own adventure. And I'm sure the one with the thumb studs is almost as much fun to play with, but I like having the Arachnid-esque hole. That makes it worth any difference in the cutting ability. But, so God, what is my, I feel like I'm flying through this, but normally I take some time to complain about some stuff, but I have very little to complain about with this knife. I guess, as I said, if you have really huge hands, it doesn't fit in there very well. Some people have complained about Benchmade's quality lately. I think that's overblown because I've had a few and they've all been fine. This one is fine. The blade centering's good. As I said at the store, I opened a few boxes and they were all pretty good. I mean, I just got this one because it was because the number on it, you know, because of that 208 of 1,000. But looks good, cuts good, ergonomics are great. Warranty department is freaking outstanding at Benchmade. I mean, you can call them. I just called them up and got parts for a knife they stopped making 8 years ago, and they were just like, "Yep, got it. We'll send them." You know, they're awesome, free of charge, no questions asked, anything. And it was like rusty screws, something they could clearly just say, "Oh, that's abuse. You didn't blah blah blah." They just sent them to me. Didn't me a hard time. My 940. I called them and asked them to get a deep carry pocket clip. They just sent me one. You know, it doesn't come with one, but they still consider it warranty, which cool on them. Great company. The price is a bit high, and that in this 3-inch blade range, yes, you can find other stuff for cheaper, but this does have 20 CV steel, and you get some of the best aspects of a Spyderco and the best aspects of a Benchmade. So if you're debating on should I get a Spyderco, should I get a Benchmade, this is a really good decision. And they make the full-size Griptilian the same way. So if you want a bigger one, you can get a 3.5-inch blade with the same thing. Yeah, really loving this thing. Very happy that I walked into a shop that had one in stock. So thank you guys very much at Blades for Life in Rochester, New York. If you want to check them out, very cool place. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you really enjoyed this video. Have a good one.